Hi yogis. Today's practice is going to focus on hips and twists, my favorite. So let's start off in a child's pose. You can do this with your knees wide or with your legs together. Reach your arms out in front of you. Relax long through your spine and let your head relax down towards your mat. Just starting to ground yourself and get ready for your practice. So grounding is often noticing how you feel in your body today, noticing without judgment, letting your breath help you to let go. So just noticing your inhales, noticing your exhales. You don't need to apply anything to those just yet, but just feeling your breath. Just noticing any places in your body where you feel a little restricted, a little tight, and see if you can let your exhales allow you to soften a little bit, to release a little bit tension you're holding in the body. And just letting that awareness kind of seep in so that you can be a bit more aware throughout your practice. Anytime you are working on hips, there's the tendency sometimes to want to go a little too far, to apply pressure maybe that's not needed to the knees or the ankles. So just noticing now where you might feel some of that grippiness. When you're in a posture pushing a little too far, you'll feel somewhat of that same sensation, right, of just trying to hold on, that white knuckle grip feeling. So just letting go of that now and just keeping that in your mind. So if you start to feel it in your practice, you know you can back off. You can always come down to child's pose if you lose the breath or if you just need a reset. And noticing your hips might not go back to touch your heels. That's okay. We are going to do a variation here to begin where your hips very well might not touch your heels, and that's okay. Just lengthening the spine is what's important. And if you like to add in an ujjayi breath, you can start to constrict the back of your throat and add a little bit more of that dimensionality to each breath. And slowly start to slide your hands back. I'm going to face you guys. If you normally like blocks in your practice, you can feel free to have a couple blocks with you. If you like to have a little padding down in your knees when you're in kneeling position, I'll get that now. Pause the video, go get that now. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started. You can stay where you are on your mat, just from your child's pose, knees wide, arms in front of you. Bring the weight a little bit forward and extend your right leg out. So I'm going to do a version of gate pose, one of my favorite ways to start getting warmed up. So make sure you're at a place where you can bring the whole pinky toe edge of your right foot down towards the floor. And then sit your hips back again. So again, the hips might not go back as far. It's a pretty deep stretch for your right inner thigh. So just listen to where you need to go. Take that stretch. And then come forward and reach your right arm up. And then bring your right hand back down and sit your hips back. Come forward, inhale, reach your right arm up. And then bring it down, exhale, sit your hips back. Inhale, coming up, reach the arm up. Stretch the side of your body. Set it down. Send your hips back. One more time, adding on. Come forward, reach your right arm up. And this time as you come down, you're going to thread the needle. Bring your right arm underneath the left. Sit your hips back. So this might be a small movement. You might not go super far. If you have very open shoulders and you're ready to go deeper, you can reach your left arm further forward and bring your right ear to the floor. If you're a lover of the binds, and this is just no big deal at all, you can also wrap your left arm around, take a half bind from the inside of your right thigh, and just let your shoulders open a little bit more. Stay active through your right foot. Not straining, but active. One more inhale and exhale. And then reach your left arm back if it was bound. Bring your chin forward, slide your left hand back, and reach your right arm up. And then bring it down and slide your right leg back, coming into an all fours position. We'll just take a little cat-cow here. So you can move at your own pace. As you inhale, arch your tail, lift your chest. As you exhale, tuck and curl, chin towards your chest, scoop out the belly. Inhale, lift, stretch your throat. Exhale, tuck and curl. Pressing the floor away, rounding through your back. One more, inhale. Feel the ribs getting nice and wide. And then exhale, squeeze everything in and up around your rib cage. And then come back to center, and we're gonna go right back into that variation on gate pose. So you can extend your left leg out this time. Your foot's roughly in line with your knee, right? So pinky toe side can reach the floor, find that space. You might have to play with it like everything, find the perfect spot. And then reach your hips back, make sure you're in the right spot, this feels okay. And come up, anchor yourself through your right hand. Left arm reaches up, inhale, expand. And then bring it down, sit your hips back. Let your body and your spine lengthen, exhale. Inhale, roll forward, left arm up. And exhale, lower it, lengthen back. Come forward again, left arm up, inhale. And bring it down, exhale as you slide longer through your spine. It's the last one, so come forward, left arm up, and bring it through, thread the needle, send your left arm onto the side. You can stay right there, that might be enough, just giving yourself a chance to feel that stretch in the shoulder. You can reach your right arm further, slide down towards your left ear, or if this is no big deal, not a strain in your left thigh, right arm can wrap around, maybe getting the bind, and still allow yourself to feel that you are opening. Use the yoga to open, to make space. One more inhale, and exhale. And then send your right arm forward, slide it back. Left arm comes up, and bring it down. Slide your left leg back, back to all fours. Switch to this view. And from this position, all fours position, tuck your toes, and just take a miniature cat-cow just in your low spine. So just arching your pelvis. That's one of my favorite ways to prepare for down dog. So if the hamstrings are tight, sometimes it's very confusing where we're supposed to be in down dog. As you tuck, as you curl, as you lift your pubic bone up towards your bottom of your rib cage and your navel, I want you to feel that pressure, that lifting up, that really strong scoop in the low belly. And then arch away. Next time you do that, scoop in your low belly. Scoop so much that it feels like you just want to lift your knees. You just want to float your knees up off the floor. Then lower down, arch back. Again, scoop so much that your knees just want to float up off the floor. Feel that lengthening in your low spine as a result. Arch back last time. Scoop so much. You feel your low spine getting so long. Your tail reaching back towards your heels or underneath you. Let your knees lift. And then from there, just send your hips back into your downward facing dog. This might be a kind of short dog, so make your adjustments or go through your down dog ritual. We often have a first down dog ritual, something we need to do to feel right with the world. So if that's you, take your down dog ritual. Otherwise, just noticing, if the legs are tight, you can do your movements, but just noticing where you can lengthen up your low spine. You can feel that lift from your pubic bone up towards your navel. And that may include some bending of the knees to get you in the right position. Broadening through your chest, long all the way from your wrists towards your upper back, and all the way up towards your tail. And then also drawing in slightly through the inner thighs, and in slightly through your upper arms. We're going going to slide forward into a plank position and bring your right knee towards your chest. And then just set your right foot down. Drop your left knee down. And further warm up our spine and our hips. So from this kneeling position, lift your arms up. Just like if you were in the standing lunge, back of your head, in the same line as your low back. Arms up overhead. You can take whatever arm variation you like. I'm going to take my left hand and drop it down, so I'm like patting my own back. And then right hand to my left elbow. Keep strong through the legs. I'm squeezing my right heel towards my left knee as I bring my body over towards the right. So stretch for the psoas, the left side. And you keep the chin up. It's also a pretty good stretch, that left armpit. And then back into the center. We'll do the other direction. Arms up. Again, you could take a different arm variation if something else works better for you. Otherwise, I'm going to take my hand, cup my right elbow, let my right palm go to my back, and bring my torso over towards the left. So side body stretch. Back up to the center. Any version of back bend. Arms up can be good. Hands behind your head is a popular one. Or you can do any version, just allowing yourself to create lift, create space. And press your hip forward, both hips forward. And then come back up and we'll take a half split. So if you need blocks right here, we're just going to the half splits first, but if that's helpful, take your blocks, flex your right foot and bring your torso forward, whatever amount makes sense for you. And then bring the weight forward, frame your right foot, tuck your back toes, strong through the back leg, press through your hands, come out the same way you went in, and lift up, knee toward chest, send that one back, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. The left knee comes up towards your chest, and then set your foot down, bring your right knee down. If you need to, you can scoot back slightly or adjust slightly if you tend to twist in these. Get yourself lined up in your railroad tracks. Bring your arms up overhead. This time we're going to start side bending to the left first. I'm going to take my right hand, pat my back, hold on to my right elbow, and bring my body over towards the left. Trying not to back bend, just letting this be a side body stretch. And then come back up. Same thing, other side. Both arms come up, left hand can drop back, hold the elbow, bring your body over to the right. I'm still drawing my right knee up towards my left heel back towards my right knee. So even though it's a stretch, I'm still staying very active through the legs. Back up to the center. And then any version of the back bend. Again, whatever you did in the first set. Press your hips forward. Lift and expand through the front of your rib cage. And then come up. Frame your left foot. Send your heel up, or your toes up, pressing the heel forward. And sending that hip back up into the socket. Lengthening forward, lengthening through your spine. So always better to do these flat back, if that means you're not going as close to your leg, great. And create that space and length in your low back, just like you're creating space and length underneath your left leg. Bring your left leg forward, hands to the floor, tuck your right toes, lift that left shin up, bring your left leg back. If you want a reminder on the flow options, I'm going to give a reminder. Otherwise, you can go right through your flow. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. For anybody who wants a reminder, obviously you can child's pose. You can go directly back into your downward facing dog. You can bring your knees down, arch into a cow position, and then scoop the belly and come back into downward facing dog. If you're working on the strength, but you're not quite there for the full chaturanga, knees down, chest forward, right with a 90-degree with your arms, and then just coming through into a cobra. It's a great way. Then downward facing dog. If you're going through the full shebang, go into your plank, chest coming forward, shoulders don't go below the elbows, 90-degree angle with the arms, hold for a moment, and then slide forward, either one leg at a time or rolling over the tops of the feet. Hover, thighs lift your chest. for your upward facing dog. Press away, come back into your downward facing dog. We're going to do that one more time. So look forward, come forward into your plank, hug your right knee into your chest, set your right foot down. I'm going to take a little bit longer stance this time. Arms up. And I'm just going to cross my thumbs. If your shoulders are tight and that doesn't make sense, you can always keep the arms further away from each other as you take your side bend over towards the right. Pull those left ribs in a little bit as you go deeper. And then come back up, a little bit over towards the left. Come back up, take your back bend. Inhale back up, and then either the half splits, or if you're ready for a full split or an active split, that's where the blocks can also be very, very helpful, right? So if you're not feeling ready yet, by all means, not time to do a half split. If you are someone who is all about the splits, you can take what you need. Active splits are where you're using your hands as much as you need and staying lifted, so if you can go down into the splits but you cannot easily come back up, that's when an active split is going to be more appropriate so that you can build the strength. Forward fold, whatever amount makes sense for you. And then, if you're in your active splits or your regular splits, slide yourself back up. Find your hand position. Scoop your leg back, hover it, and send it back down. Back to our plank. The left knee up into your chest. Send your left foot forward. Bring your right knee down. Again, I'm doing a little bit longer stance, my second set, but you choose where you need to be. Arms up, whatever version you did. And this time moving to the left in this first one. Lift up out of your low belly. Back to center. A little bit over towards the right. Should be a little bit more of a balance challenge. Got to keep that right hip active. Back to the center. Take your back bend. Inhale back up, and then half splits. When we're going deeper, if you feel ready, again, you can take those active splits, staying more lifted, building up the strength. So really important part of this. If you can go down but you can't come up, it's not really functional range yet, and flexibility without function is just an injury waiting to happen. So find where is your forward bend. And then, again, slide yourself up, find control. Last time I didn't tuck my toes in the back foot, but find where you need to be, where you can press away. Hug your knee up into your chest, send it back down, and again, flow. Whatever is your version of the flow. And up into your downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Driving through your chest, wrapping into your upper arms. Reach low through your heels, lengthen through your low spine. And then look forward. And you can step, or if you're ready, you can jump your feet up in between your hands. Take your halfway lift, flat back, wide collarbones, and forward fold over your legs. Sit your hips low. Coming up into a chair pose. First chair pose, so really pull under with your pelvis. So lengthening your tail down, lengthening through your low spine, pull in through the front of the rib cage, so you're not just arching your low back to make this happen. Look up towards your hands, plug your shoulders in, and spiral in slightly through your upper arms and your pinkies. And then we'll reach the arms back. Don't move the hips, just slide the arms back. Roll the heads, the shoulders back. Feel, again, that's triceps activating. You can slightly tuck your chin, lengthen through the back of your neck. Drive through your ankles. And come up onto your toes. If you're doing this one, stay up on your toes. Keep your legs the same as you bring your arms back up by your cheekbones. And then lower your heels down. Arms down by the sides, fold in, halfway lift, step or jump back, take your flow. And meet up in downward facing dog. Just one breath here. And then we're going to go into the meaty part of the flow. Bring your right leg up and bring your heel towards your butt, and then actively open up through your hips. Still pressing through both hands, all the fingertips. Bring the leg back in, the hip back in square, and send your right leg forward, setting up for a crescent lunge, so similar to what we're doing on the floor, keeping the legs parallel to each other. You might need to make adjustments, so on your way up, try to bring that right hip forward, your left hip back, square your hips, and arms up. Again, back of your head's in line with your low back, so you're not at this big angle forward with your chest. Lift your low belly, make space in the front of your hips. Right thighs closing in on parallel to the floor. So if you're not quite there, you can bend your back leg and see if you can press it back, and that might get you a little bit lower, a little bit deeper into the power of your own legs. And then from this position, bring your hands either to frame your right foot or two blocks, coming into a standing split. So bend your right leg, launch off, find where's appropriate for you. You can see your foot. You might have to turn a little bit inwards to the left thigh to square your leg. And then bring your hands a little forward, tense up on your hands, draw your knee towards your knee, bend yourself down back into your chair. This time just hands to your heart. I'll be turning away from the camera for this first one at this point, but you guys know what this is. It's a prayer twist. So options to bring your elbow to the outside of the right knee. If that's not accessible, you can bring it to the inside of both knees, or you can take both hands and use that along your thigh to help you turn your chest. So come into your twist. Make sure this is coming from your torso and your ribs, and your left hip is still back. Your left knee is in line with your right one. Look up towards your right elbow. And then weights in the right leg. So you might need to take a moment to punch up onto that left big toe, or hug it in. Left heel towards your butt. Slow motion, send it back. Find those railroad tracks again. Pull your right hip back as you send your left hip forward. Stay in your twist. From here, we're going to press into the front leg, spiral the arms out into a warrior two. Make any adjustments you need, broadening through your hips. Lift it away from your waistline, weights equal between the two legs. And then an extended side angle. I'm going to do the Ashtangi version, that's what I'm used to. So I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my foot, spiral the left arm up, so my palm is facing back, and then plug that shoulder in. So it's one long line from my left fingertips to my left heel. You can always choose to bring your right hand to your right thigh. If that's going to make you more lifted through your side body, then that's always going to be the better choice. Turning your chest open, and then we'll spiral the left hand down, roll up onto the bottom of your left foot, and reach your right arm up for another twist. We're going to come right back into our warrior two. So just like we did in the twist before, spiraling, arms up, warrior two, and then reverse your warrior. Reach long through the right side body, active through the left back of the leg, and cartwheel your arms. Send your right leg back, go through your flow. Meet up in downward facing dog. Just one breath, and then we'll go through same thing on the other side. So, bring your left leg up, find that extension, and then we'll hamstring curl, and then press out. See how much power you can create as you open up. Give yourself some space in the hip, and then draw in. And send your leg forward, just like the beginning of class. Square everything off, drawn through your inner thighs. And lift your chest. Again, lifting up. Make sure you get that lift in your low belly, space in your low back, up away from your hips. Shoulders not up towards your ears though. Keep those plugged in. Might need to bend your back leg and then straighten it. Squeezing through that back glute. Pressing through the ball mount of your right foot. And then hands come forward. Spine lengthening. Bring yourself into position where you can bend your left leg and set up for your standing splits. Fold over your front leg whatever amount. Maybe you can see your right foot. Might need to turn it in. Turn the pinky toe down a little bit. And then bend your right knee in towards your left knee. Sit your hips low. And just coming into that prayer with your hands towards your chest again. Into the chair, the prayer twist. So twisting over towards the left now. Again, you can hold the inside. If you're kind of working on this, a good variation is to make a fist and cup the fist. And usually you can get a little bit more twist that way. Otherwise, hands to your thigh is a great way to get started. Better to find where you can use your spine and keep your hips stable, keep your legs from trying to do the twist for you. And then coming up onto your right big toe, taking a perch, slide that heel up towards your glutes, send it back, slow and controlled, land the ball out of your foot, reach back again through the leg, hips low, bending your spiral. Now we're going to cartwheel the arms. So coming into our warrior two, arms come up, right heel slides down, chest open. Usually you got to bring that weight back so you're not getting tilted forward over your left leg. Left leg is nice and low, parallel to the floor. Knee over your ankle. You're in the center. Extended side angle, whatever version makes sense for you. Again, I'm going to sweep my right hand arm forward on the chest. Bring the arm up, plug the shoulder in. You'll notice that when you plug the shoulder in, you get a lot more of that opening through your chest, a lot more of the chest going forward instead of being down towards the floor or to the side of you. And then rolling down to bring your right hand to the floor. Roll into the ball of your right foot. Lift your left arm up. Stacking your shoulders, not just your arms. Twist through your torso. Scissor through your legs. And again, we're going to find that sweeping of the arms back into warrior two. So start to cartwheel your arms. Slide that right foot down. Find your center. And then reverse your warrior. Lengthening through the left side body, still staying tall. And cartwheel your arms back down, take your flow. Left leg back, chest forward, lower down on the exhale. On the inhale, lift, roll the shoulders back. And back to downward facing dog. I like to add in some layers. So as we go, we're going to try a few different layers. So look forward, either step or jump. If you're jumping, bend your knees, tilt your hips up and use that to help you land light. Take your halfway lift, forward fold. And then we're going to, again, set up for our chair. So bend your knees, reach your arms up, tilt the pelvis. Pull the ribs in, shoulders down, chest lifted, chin parallel. And this time we're going to add a variation. So I'm just going to come forward so you guys can see it. So from this chair pose, left leg bent, coming up onto your right big toe. Step it out towards the side. And it's going to take a lot of bounce to your left leg, so stay stable. If this doesn't make sense for you, you can come back into your chair. We're going to use this as a transition up into a figure four. So come into your figure four, put your hands to your chest, sit your hips low, sit both hips back, flex your right foot. Broad across your collarbones. 2 more breaths here. Send your right foot down, lift all the way up tall, look up towards your hands, stretch up, and forward fold. Look forward. And then come in, and we're gonna step back again. So step your legs back, go through another flow, or we'll meet up in downward facing dog. One breath here. Look forward, this time just right leg up. Step it forward, move just a little quicker. Come into your crescent lunge. Good, strong back glute. Lifting up away from your hips. Bring your hands to the floor. Coming into your standing split. Square your hips. Option here, 3 handstand hops. So if you feel stable, that can be a very, very tiny hop. You just need to really trust yourself. Use your whole hands, not flinging into the edges of your wrists. So if you're doing the hops, maybe a little hop. Or if you're getting more comfortable with these, hop, hold an L, or hold all the way up. 3 hops. And then we'll go back into our chair. So sit your hips low. Hands to your chest. Take your prayer twist over towards the right. Lift your left leg, hover it. Send it back. Find your stability. Deepen your twist. Right hip pulls back. And then cartwheel your arms. Go into the edge of your left foot, coming up into a nice deep warrior 2. Forward into your extended side angle. You can spin the left arm under. If that works well for you, take what variation works well for you. If you'd like to play with a half bind, you can also reach your left arm around, bind at your thigh, or if you've got a comfortable full bind, you can reach your right arm under. But again, make sure that your chest is forward. If your chest is to the floor, this isn't really helpful yet, so always better to take a half bind if your chest is not yet able to go forward with the full bind. If you have the full bind, you can reach your arms back and deepen it as that's available. Looking towards your left shoulder. And then we'll replace the hands. Left hand comes down, roll to the ball of your left foot. Take your twist again, send your right hip back. Lift up through your low belly. Stack your shoulders. And again, weights in the right leg. Building up the strength in the legs, coming up into your warrior 2. Take your reverse warrior. And then cartwheel your hands. Send your right leg back, take your flow. One more inhale. One more exhale. Let's try it on the other side. Bring your left leg up. Send your left leg forward. Come into your crescent lunge. Lift up tall. Shoulders plugged in. Bring your hands to the floor. Launch off into your standing splits. Stay there. Or taking a couple handstand hops if you're curious what it feels like with this leg on top. Small hop. Staying in the V, that 90-degree angle. Ooh. Is a really good way to start getting your balance and your control. Otherwise, you can come all the way up. And then meeting back in our chair. And just little hops when you first start to build up the strength. You gotta start with those hops. Hands to your chest, prayer twist over towards the left. You're gonna think about lengthening the back of the neck. Often here, the neck's doing some funny stuff. So just look towards your left elbow and think about it being in the same line as the rest of your spine. Start to bring your weight into your left leg. Pick your right leg up. Maybe you can go really slow motion. Sending it back. Find the ball mode of your foot. Feel that sensation of you're pressing back from the center of your glute back into your Achilles tendon. I'll tell you your alignment. So strong glute. Get your twist. And then again, cartwheel your arms, coming out to your warrior 2, opening up through that left inner thigh. Broaden your hips, sit low and sit wide. Reach out through your long, strong arms. And then again, spiraling out, Left hand down, reaching into your extended side angle, or if you're trying the bind on this side, you can go into that half bind, stacking one shoulder over the other, or the full bind. Find where it makes sense. For me, my arms are pretty short, so reaching back doesn't quite make sense for me at this point, but for some people, reaching back really helps them deepen it. Open things up more. Pulling the left ribs forward and through in front of your left thigh. Then cartwheel your arms back. Bring your right hand down first. Spiral up. Left arm up. Getting that twist again. Again, press back through your right heel. Stay active and strong through your right hamstring and glute. Then spiral your arms up. Back into your warrior two. Sit low. Just lifted. And reverse your warrior. Cartwheel your arms back down. Send your left leg back. Take your flow. Get back in downward facing dog. We'll take a couple breaths here. If you need to take a break, take a child's pose. We're going to go through one more time, adding in a few fun variations. But we start off and then we kind of layer. So if the starting point was a challenge, then that's where you need to keep working. If that wasn't a challenge, then it's time to layer up a little bit more. Give yourself more things to work on. Look forward, either step or jump your feet up in between your hands. Again, halfway lift. Lower in. Bend your knees. Lift your chest coming up into your chair pose. Maybe chair pose is getting a little bit deeper. Legs are getting more and more warmed up, which for me also means a little bit shaky, but warmed up. Again, I'm going to face you guys. So this time, arms up. We're going to try our figure four on the other side. So send the left leg out, kind of like when we started off the beginning of class. Leg is bent, the leg is straight. Find your balance, your control, so you can snake it on over into your figure four. Bring your hands towards your chest. Sit your hips low and try to sit back. Flex your left foot. It's going to be painful in the knee or the standing knee. Be cautious with that. If you're really trying to force it, sometimes that's where we over-apply the pressure. So listen to what your body's telling you. Again, try to broaden across your collarbones, roll your shoulders down, lift your chest, and lengthen your spine as you sit lower. Another breath here. And then send your left leg down. Come all the way up tall. Look up towards your hands. And forward fold. Take your half lift. Send your legs back. Another flow. Just forward. Lower down. Inhale. Come up. Upward facing or cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Bring your right leg up and send your right leg through. Come up into your lunge. And this time, hands down, coming up into your standing splits. Again, you can take a couple more handstand hops if you'd like. And lower yourself down if you're up. Bend your knees. Sit back into your chair. Hands to your heart. Twist over to the right. Bring your left leg up. Send your left leg back. Again, look over your right shoulder. Square your hips. But broaden your chest. Cartwheel your arms out, coming into your warrior two, hips low, spine long, extended side angle. Maybe a half bind, maybe a full bind. Frame your right leg again. Come onto the bottom of your left foot, left hand down, right arm up, take a twist. Pull the belly in to twist deeper. Again, spiral back out to your warrior two, and take your reverse warrior. Stay low in your right leg, building up that strength. Arms come down, bring your right foot, send your right leg back, and take your flow. Back up into downward facing dog, just one breath. Bring your left leg up. Send your left leg through, coming into your crescent lunge. Hands to the floor, standing splits. Maybe again, handstand hops, up to you. Maybe the standing splits is more interesting. And then find yourself back in your chair. Twist to the left. Have your right foot, send it back. Spiral your arms out, roll the edge of the right foot down, coming into your warrior two. Shoulders down. Extended side angle, or maybe taking a half bind or a full bind. Bring your chest forward, roll into the bottom of your right foot. Right hand down, left arm up, another nice twist. Pull the left hip back. Press strong to the right hamstring. And then roll that edge of the foot down again. We're opening up again to your warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And cartwheel your arms. Another flow. Back into your downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Look forward. And again, you can either step or jump your feet up in between your hands. Take a halfway lift and forward fold. Sit your hips into your chair. Arms up. We're going to take one more version. So arms up over your head. Hands down to your chest. You can either prayer twist over towards the right from here, or take it into a side crow. I'm going to do 3-part side crow. So if you're new to side crow, just like when you twisted and brought your hands over to the side here, it's that same sensation. Try to get your hands to the floor, staying on the twist with your hands to the floor. Maybe just touching down the block, see if you can get some twist and get closer to the floor. But you're not going to do the actual pose on blocks, but that's a starting point, bringing the floor up. Once you can get down into the floor, coming up onto your toes, then you can start to find the place where you would go into your arms. At first, usually we start using both, and eventually just using the front arm. Find your balance, so you can just leverage and tip up. And then if you're doing a 3-parter, first you're going to straighten both legs, then you're going to kick that back leg up. Then you're going to bring it back, ooh, and then you're going to twist and look over your right shoulder. Feet in, back up, hips up, all the way up. And arms down by your side. Let's try that same thing on the other side. So, sit down into your chair, hands to your chest. Take your twist, whatever your twist looks like. You can stay in your twist. You can come up onto a toe stand twist. See if the floor is there. See if you can find that space or start working towards it. If you got it, coming into a place where you can bring the weight either first into both arms, setting yourself up a little shelf. Or over time, you can use just the right arm on this side. Pivot your weight. Arms are just like a regular crow. We're doing that three-parter again. Legs extend out. Upper leg goes back. Comes forward again. And look to the left. And then bring the knees in and come back up. So I demonstrated at both sides, touching your head to the floor. It's okay. It happens sometimes. I haven't done that three-parter in a while. Legs come up and all the way up. Arms up over your head and arms down by your side. All right, let's take another flow. Reach your arms up, fold forward. Halfway lift. Walk back. Just forward, lower down, all the way up. Upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale back to downward facing dog. I want to give us a chance, if you were doing the handstands, to do a scissor kick switch. So we'll just try that. It can be just going into lunge, right? So right leg up. If you're not doing the scissor kick, you're just going to land forward just like we've been doing, going into a crescent lunge. If you want to try the scissor kick, you're just going to kick through your right leg, and it's going to buy you time to then bring your right foot forward into your lunge. So press off through your left leg, and then you switch. Right leg lands, left leg lands, up into your crescent. And then bring your hands back down, send your right leg back, and we'll just try it on the other side, just for fun. So left leg comes up. So if you're working on this might just be a little hop, right? It might be easier to get your hop here. You get a little hop, and then you set the foot forward. And if you can buy yourself more time, you can press off. Left leg comes forward, you land, left leg first. Arms come up, crescent. Hands back down. Let's try that one more time. Get a little cardio. So right leg lifts. Again, it could be just a little hop, send the right leg forward, or a bigger hop, scissor it, land, inner thigh squeeze, lift. Right leg back, left leg up. So you're using that strong right leg to help propel you to buy you time. Use it, lift. Scissor kick, left leg forward, and arms up. Bring your hands back down, send your left leg back, and just go back into your downward facing dog. And look forward. Actually, let's bring the knees down. Let's take the child's pose. And 2 breaths in your child's pose. If you're new to doing weight on your hand stuff, that's a lot. Look forward. Come back up. Step or jump your feet wider than your hands. So we're coming into a Malasana squat. So I'm going to again come forward so you guys can see me from this angle. Malasana squat. So hopefully we've done enough hip opening that this is not torture. If it is, just stay higher. Keep your butt above your knees. Knees track over ankles. If you're down low, make sure you're not sinking. So lift your chest, pull your shoulders down. You'll feel how much length you can create in your low spine. You have a little bit more integrity in this position. And if doing the stuff with weight in your hands was feeling a lot in your wrists, this is a nice little stretch. You can take your hands, wrap them behind, and then sit down and let that stretch out your wrist. You can bounce a little bit if that feels good. Otherwise, from here, we're gonna come into a bind. So just because we did a couple binds already, and we've done stuff that I think prepares us, why not take a bind in a bird to paradise? It can be fun. So the nice thing about this is if you've never done a bind like this before, if the bind doesn't work for you in your extended side angle, right? There is a way you can work on your bind that most people can get. And what that includes is you just bring your left knee down to the floor. And then shoulder comes inside your right leg and you can wrap around. You can see, I'm just gonna wrap around from there. That's usually inaccessible, right? Not always, but maybe. So if you really want the bind, that's a good way to start to get that feeling. What does that feel like in your chest when you can get those contrasting forces in a bind? If you don't want that, no worries. You can stay in your Malasana. You can extend out through your arms and stretch. Or stay higher up, extend out your arms and stretch. That should feel wonderful. Otherwise, if you want the bind, And bring your shoulder right up in there inside your leg. You can bring your hand inside and use that up your calf to draw yourself in closer. Right hand goes behind. You get the bind just like you would in your extended side angle. Heel toe the left foot in closer. Perch up on your right big toe. Weights directly over your left leg, so the standing up won't be a big issue, right? You can just press through that leg. Torso's up first. Once you get your torso, try to roll the shoulders down a little bit, and then you can extend your leg. And then just like you did with the legs extended in your balancing side crow, look over your left shoulder and try to externally rotate forward through your right leg. Bring your head forward, and slowly, carefully come back down. Hands in front, back to your Malasana. Take a moment in between sides. This can be something we need to feel out a little bit. Don't force anything here. If you're, again, playing with your bind, this is a new thing for you. Right knee down. You can reach around, draw your shoulder as much as you can under your left arm. Wrap your right arm. You can also use a strap for this, but it's not that important that you need a strap. It's just something to feel in your body, stepping stone. And if you are comfortable with the bind, or you don't want the bind, you can, again, open up through your chest and sit your hips low, or sit low, open your chest. If you are doing the bind, again, pull your shoulder underneath. Use your hand to help you. Wrap it around. If this is painful in your shoulders, you're forcing it, so if that's too much, heel toe the right foot in. Perch up on your left big toe, right knee is bent, but that leg is powerful, so you can lift off. Chest all the way up first. Then the leg can extend. Let your shoulders roll back. That's why we can't have tension there. They need to relax. And look over your right shoulder. See if you can externally rotate, just like you did in the other bind. You're rolling the left ribs a little bit more forward. This side's harder for me. And then look forward and bring your left leg down, meaning it's more rewarding. Then come back out again. Find yourself back into your Malasana. Take a moment. Fix your hair. You know, whatever you gotta do. Stay here and breathe. Again, use this from here. Just have a few more stretches, and this hip opening twisty flow will be complete. So slowly press yourself back up. You can wag out a little bit if you need to. Release any tension there in your back. I think we're going to avoid any more flowing. So just spiral to where it makes sense, or if you were just facing the front of your mat, you might already be in a good spot. So you can go into a plank or back up into your down facing dog if you like to enter pigeon that way. Bring your right leg up. Send your right knee behind your right wrist. If you like a block here at your hip, you can give yourself a block. You can make your adjustments so that you're getting a good stretch, but you're also taking care of the knee. Flex your right foot and bring your chest down as much or as little as makes sense. Trying to square the hips. And then if it feels good, you can fold forward. And if you get more lifting up tall, you can lift up tall. Just a few breaths here. If you'd like to add on a quad stretch, come up, send your left leg up. Bring your foot in towards your butt. Maybe flipping your grip, or if you're ready for a mermaid or the full pigeon, you can go for that. I'm going to just stay here and get this quad stretch, which feels amazing. And then send your left leg back. If you can do it safely, just roll into your right hip. If you need to adjust another way, adjust it another way. Send your right leg out and bring the left leg forward. I'm going to come back to face the camera so you can see this one. This one's a little bit maybe weird if you've never done this before. It's Archer or Karna Dhanurasana from the Advanced Hot Yoga series. I used to hate this pose and now I love it. That's always a good sign. So it's just a little weird. So left leg is going to go at an angle, long at an angle. Right leg is over with your leg bent. So your foot is above your left knee. The challenging or the unusual thing here is the grip. We're going to take your hands, bring both hands up, and then you're going to take your thumb and your middle finger and bring the middle finger and the ring and the pinky together. So the second finger, pointer finger is sticking out of both hands. Then turn that down. Your hands do not cross. Your feet are crossed, your hands do not cross. You come forward and you just snake that little loop of the thumb and the middle finger around your big toe. Second finger goes across the bridges of your toes. It's not super important. If you cannot get the grip on your foot, better to just kind of fake it, right? So, if you can, flex the long leg, maybe even hover your heel. And it's called archer because you're going to pull back. So, look over your right shoulder, spine as straight as possible. Pull your right foot up towards your ear like it's your cell phone. And try to bring the shoulders, the collarbones long in one line. If you're comfortable here, you can shoot. Otherwise, just comfortably relax out of it. All right, we're gonna come back and do our pigeon on the other side. So coming back into a plank or downward facing dog. And send your left leg up. Bring your left knee towards your left wrist. Again, settle as it makes sense for you. For me, bringing my leg down and finding a place where I'm actually getting a stretch. Bringing my hip down and finding where I can actually get a stretch takes a moment. Otherwise, it's just a very passive stretch for me. So find where you're going to get a good, deep stretch, but also where you're not forcing anything on your knee, forcing anything on your ankle. You can keep your chest up or bring your body forward as much as feels comfortable. Just stay here breathing. If you added the quad stretch on the other side, come up, bring your right heel towards your bum, and bring that leg in. And make sure it's going straight in, not out at an angle. You can flip your hand. So if you're doing that, you're just rolling that big toe or the thumb and the second finger around the big toe, and then lifting the elbow up. Still pressing it forward. So usually what happens is I start to sink out to the side. So that's just your front of your right hip avoiding, so don't let it avoid. You know what it means. Keep your modifications if you went into the full pose or your mermaid. And then relax that leg down, roll into your hip. Find where's a way that you can comfortably swing your right leg forward or get out in a way that's ergonomical for you. And then we'll go through and do our archer on the other side. So now the right leg will go out long, and your left leg will be in front, hands up. Everything except for the second finger is going to come together. Turn that upside down, take those loops over your big toe. So the second finger goes across the bridges of the toes, shoulders down, lift up tall, maybe even hover your right heel. Again, you can fake it if you can't get it and just hold on at your ankle. Look over your left shoulder and try to bring your right foot up towards your ear. Drawing the shoulders more in one line. Shoot. Or just release carefully if you're not sure about that. All right, coming out. Let's draw the knees into the chest. And then slowly roll back on your mat. And bring your legs up. We'll take just one happy baby. Hold on wherever is comfortable for you. Release any tension in your low back. And relax your shoulders down. Your low spine lengthening out on the floor. And then slowly draw the knees back into the chest. Left leg comes out long. Draw the right leg over to the side. Look over towards your right shoulder, if that's okay with your neck. Shoulders stay down. Just a quick supine twist. Back up to the center, and we'll switch. Right leg down, bring your left leg up. Roll your left leg over to the side. Look over your left shoulder. Again, shoulders down. Even if your knee does not go to the floor, my knee's nowhere near the floor. Just let this be a nice twist. And then come back to center. Both knees in, curl up. And release down. Let everything release into a final Shavasana. Stay here for as long as you need. In home practice, sometimes it's very tempting to just get up and jet and go on to the next thing. But try to stay here if you need to trick yourself with, like, I'm going to stay for 5 breaths or 10 or 15 or whatever it is. You can also use this as almost like a chakra thing and kind of, I'm going to breathe 5 breaths into each chakra. If you know 7 chakras, that would be 35 breaths. I do one form of yoga where we'll breathe from the bottom chakras up to the top and then down. And sometimes it's like 50 breaths each chakra, which ends up being something like 1,400 breaths. So, you know, give yourself what you need. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.